It's been a while. I said that the last time. And this is Friday Sews. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Mary, this is Love My Crafts, and I have been MIA for about 3 months, maybe, and I apologize. But it's been crazy. Not crazy, just I went through this weird slump. I'll explain that more later, I guess. Anyway, so Friday Sews was brought to us by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, and it's where we talk about what we're sewing, what we plan on sewing, and a little bit about life. So let's see. I watched the last video just to see what I had talked about, and there was a lot of fabrics that I had gotten, and there was some things I was working on. So I realized as I'm watching, I'm like, oh, I made that. Oh, I did that. So I've actually been back on a roll lately. So I've been making some things, and I'm thinking about Christmas gifts and stuff like that. But I haven't made any garments. What I'm wearing is ready to wear. I believe it's from Kohl's. Because, you know, there's no more Joann's. You can't get fabric like this. You can't get viscose. You can't get anything. So, and they got the heat working in my office, so I have to wear something a little light. So I have this, and I actually have ready to wear Ponte pants on because I couldn't make any. So that's that. And excuse my nose. Let's start with, I was talking about, I was making a scrappy panel, and I said I was going to make something out of it, and I did. So I don't know if you remember, I had my rainbow panel, the reds and yellows and greens and orange and all that stuff. And I had this wonky panel. So what I did was I put a little bit of canvas on the bottom, boxed the corners, some webbing that I have from Amazon, and I lined it with fabric I also talked about, sewing machine fabric, and I put a double pocket here, and on this side it's like a big pocket. I meant to make it something else, but I actually made a panel out of these squares. I believe we've seen these before in my cat quilts. So there's a big pocket, and it's just been hanging, probably waiting for me to show you, and I finished that. So other fabric that I got was some Bob Ross fabric. Sorry, the American Girl doll's making it look like I have extra hair, but. So I followed, what did I follow? Shabby Fabrics tutorial to make this pillowcase with French seams. Now, you're supposed to buy extra fabric if you're going with a directional fabric, and this is fabric I bought in Maine, so I can't buy extra. I only bought a yard. So here we are. There's Bob Ross up there. And then if you look, his paintings go this way. And it's a huge pillowcase. So for the person, hopefully he doesn't watch this. I'm sure he has better things to do. I'm going to get him a new pillow and put this pillowcase on it and gift it for Christmas. And it's very soft. So I would like this as a pillowcase if it was me. Now that I just made yesterday. And then my daughter requested a cup cozy, and she likes Vans, the brand. So I made this checkered one with red felt inside. I made 2. The other one's already ready for her. And what else did I make? Oh, so then I took, you remember the butterfly fabric. First I made this bag. These two, the tutorial I use for this is Dizzy Quilts and Sews. And I will link it, of course. And I didn't think at first, I wanted a handle, and I just made a handle. My other one has it with a D-ring. And of course my rainbow zipper, a handmade pull. And then on the inside, I forgot what I put. Oh, just plain. But I did put a little label. And that's that. It's just a little pouch. I made it the regular size. It has these nice zipper tabs. It's so beautiful. And then I made another one with this whole thing. I mean, this is a little big. I made it really big, but you know, I was just experimenting. And the same lining. This one does not have a label. Sometimes I put it in, sometimes I don't. I don't know. I forgot where they were. That's why that one's square, because I also have a rectangle one, which you will see. This one, we won't say who it's for. If she watches this, she'll know though. Remember the Alice in Wonderland fabric? It was Curiouser and Curiouser by Tula Pink. So I cut the selvage and I put it there. And found my rectangle label and I put it there. A little bit of, I think this is waterproof canvas on the bottom. You know, in case you put it down and it's in a puddle, who knows? And then the lining for this special one is also from the same line. It's Alice in Wonderland. And you see, handmade with love. I put labels all over this one with a D-ring, and I got new. Does this one have, oh, this has my little cheapy little clasp. This, I don't know if I already had these D-rings. I think I did. And then I got this. I love this one because it's not going to bend. It's not too skinny. And I almost put a label on this too. And of course, I made this in a bigger size. I had made a template and I just added 2 inches to it from Dizzy's tutorial. Izzy, sorry. I've been out of the loop. So that's that one. And I made 2 more. Also, I think, yeah. Oh, looks like, I thought this one was taller. Also wider with the D-ring handle. And this one has a pretty pink lining with the handmade. And it also has a Love My Crafts label. And I did quilt it a little bit. This is, I don't know, fusible fleece. I wanted it to have a little bit of stability. I think this one is also fusible fleece, but I didn't quilt it. And then you get that, you can tell it was ironed on texture. And this one, same thing. And I think I put, yes, I put interfacing on the canvas. Did I? Wow, I don't remember. Oh, the fusible fleece goes all the way down. If you watch her tutorial, she does it with a vinyl or faux leather, and I did it with canvas. So it does have a little bit of something. I did not line I did not interface the lining. I also put this in here. Also has my label because I will either be giving them out to people I know or bringing them like to work as a little grab bag and people can pick what they want. That is not all I have made. Besides those fleece things, I'm trying to think of what else I made. I have no idea. And it is time to go. So this is gonna have to be continued. I know I made these, the pillowcase, these, the bag, everything I was looking at in the video. I was like, oh, I used that fabric. I used that fabric. Anyway, started yesterday. I'm going to make, I had a pack of mini charms. So I'm gonna make some coasters. I made one with this cool way. I know I have to leave for work, but that's okay. You put them together, but then you fold it on the outside. You have them interfaced and you do the seams after they're glued onto the interfacing. But I used a really strong interfacing, so they're too stiff, so I didn't bother finishing this one because when I did, it's all lumpy bumpy. It has too many bumps. So this will be mine because it has a big bump in the middle and you're gonna make your cup fall over if you use that. So then I said, okay, well, I'll have to do it the real way. I pieced them And my piecing is horrible. You can see there. I'm never on the, never, oh no, this goes to something and I forgot what. Where does it go? Uh-oh. Anyway, I have them in piles so that, because when oh, here it is. It's stuck to it. When I did this one, no, this one's fine. It's green, red, red, greenish. This one I ended up, the two solids are together. That's not what I wanted to do. And this one, it wasn't what so I have them all ready to be pieced, the rest of them, so that they'll coincide. So it'll be like red, green, red, green, green, red. Just little coasters. Probably give them out at work. And my phone's going berserk. So I'm going to go to work now. Hopefully I'll finish this tonight. We'll see. I'm back. I think it's been 5 days maybe. Sorry about that. I went off to work and then one day led to the next, and here it is next week. So, I believe I finished talking about everything I had made. If you can see my table, you can see the rest of the mess around here. It's just crazy. Anyway, let's see. Can we put it this way? I don't know. It's a mess back there. Anyway, so I think that was everything I made. Have I finished anything since? I went on and made them, well, started to make them. I could take one apart and show you. So I put the 4 squares together. I sewed them the good old-fashioned way. And then I quilted them onto some batting. I might put an extra piece of batting. I don't think so. It's just for a coaster, and then this will be the back. And then you just sew it around, leave an opening, and you turn it out, and then you top stitch it, and that's about it. I give these as little gifts, I guess. I should enter this stuff in a gift to November, if I remember, but you know, I certainly don't need to win any fabric, so I don't know if that's one of the things. I have too much. I noticed when I was making the pillowcases, I don't have enough yardage because I was going to make a pillowcase for me to make sure I made it right, and I didn't have anything that was big enough. So there's fabric all over this table. There's Christmas fabric, there's all kinds of things. And then the other day I was at the Dollar Tree and they had this, let's see, they had this tea towel. So what I did was I joined it, I cut it at the top and I joined it, and then I've put, this is folded so it will be a channel for a drawstring. So I'm going to turn this into a drawstring bag. However, usually with drawstring bags, you do something where you don't sew it so that the channel just is there. But I think I might have to, I don't know how many times I'll have it. I might have to seam rip it in the middle to get the drawstring around. It was just an experiment, but it'll be a cute little gift bag when it's done. Nothing like the gift bags I've seen Sam make on So Let Sparkle. She embroiders or does applique of her own little guy on the front. But everybody loves a good gnome. It was $1.50 now. Dollar Tree is $1.50. I showed you my tote bag. I'm making these coasters. I have a stack of them I have to sew. And I don't know what's next on my agenda. I do have lots of fall fabric that I could do a fabric dice game with. I was all confused about that a while back, and I didn't do it because I only had winter stuff and it was summer. So now it's winter, so I could. And let's see. I think that's it for sewing. And on to life. So last time I was here, I had just had my surgery. So it's probably the beginning of August. And that's healing fine. The scar's a little funky and I'm working on it. They have something, silicone patches you can put on scars, and we'll see if that works. Crochet or knitting, have I done any of that? Let's just think. Oh, I did. I think I talked about this once. Well, I'll put a picture up if I know I have one. I do this circular knitting machine, which you can see back there. There's a Lorax. I made him with the circular knitting machine. I do a Grinch, and I have a pattern on my Etsy, and the pattern includes a PDF, the SVG to cut out the face, because I am terrible at embroidering a face. And then it also has a step-by-step video tutorial. It only comes with the pattern, so it's not out on YouTube. So what I did was one year, not last year, maybe last year or the year before, somebody said, oh, can you make Max? Well, I had made Max, and I'll put a picture if I have it, of Max with the branch on his head, which I had to crochet, and that was just crazy. And I said, well, I want to do a pattern like the Grinch, but we'll just put a hat on him because it's easier. So I did finally finish that, and I put that on my Etsy, and that's actually going to be on sale. I don't know when this video will come out, but it will be on sale the week of Cyber Black Friday and all that stuff. So it has the same video as the Grinch, and it has its own SVG for the face. And it's just, it gives you the extra steps of making the ears, because he has big floppy ears, and putting it together with the hat. And he came out pretty cute, if I do say so myself. And I've only sold one so far. But basically, if you could make a snowman on a circular knitting machine, you can make any of these. I just do the pattern so that there's a step-by-step, because I know I love having a step-by-step when I make something. I don't know if I'm looking in the right direction. I just realized that. Probably not this whole time. I haven't done this in a while. So I have, what else did I do? I think I was just in this really big funk, and I went through these stages of, you know, I was making pea pads, so I have a ton left over of fleece and I think it's called moving blankets. I think that was in my last video. I did show I remember showing pictures of those. And then I don't know if I'd make things like just to make them, but I'm looking around this mess to see if I see anything. And then I went through a phase of, I was collecting toys, some old toys from my childhood, and what do they call that? Well, restoring them if they needed to be restored. Like, you can't see her, she's laying down, but that Chrissy doll, that's the box for the Chrissy doll. That came out in 1969, I believe. That was more my sister's time, but she had baby Chrissy, and I'm sure they're harder to restore because it's a really big baby. It's like a 9-month-old baby doll with the hair that grows. Every kid must have loved the hair play back in the day. So I was going through that little phase, and I did make a bunch of, I think I had talked about it in my video, I did make a bunch of card holders, and me and my mother love them when we play cards. It's just so much easier. And I had made these for my vacation, which got cut short. Thank you, Luke. And they match my bag that I had made, which I know I had shown this bag. I put all kinds of things in here. Blah, blah, just rambling now. So that was August, September, I don't know. What was I doing? October. Anyway, so then just recently, my sister and I went to visit my dad and stepmom in Alabama. My sister never has time off. She doesn't work, but she's always taking mom to appointments, or she does a lot of extra helping. So I said, how about the week of Veterans Day? You don't have any appointments in the calendar. Let's go. So we went on a sister's trip and we stayed in the cutest little rental house that was about 20 minutes away from our dad's house. And sorry about that. So we had fun. We saw some sights. There isn't much to do, and we had lots of good meals and visits and chats. And we even went on a little hike in my dad's property. I think it was an unintentional hike. My dad is 83 years old and he can hike with the best of them because he walks his property all the time. And me and my sister had trouble keeping up. But it was a nice visit. If I have any, I have a couple of pictures. I'll pop them up. And of course, there's always a dog and a cat because we wouldn't be on any vacation if we didn't find an animal. So now that I'm back, I have been trying to get Christmas figured out, decorating or gift sewing or just sewing in general, just because it keeps me, it really is more of a therapy than a hobby. It keeps me kind of in the right headspace. So even if it's not for a purpose, I like to make things that are useful. And of course, now I want to make some things that are warm to wear. In my office, I'm in a different office now, so it was freezing and they fixed the heat and now it's warm, but it's not too warm. Last year it was so warm, I wore short sleeves all winter, I think, so I couldn't even make anything unless it was to wear around the house. So that's all I think that's been going on here, besides the fact that my sewing room needs a really good cleanup and I need to figure out these few toys that I've collected. Where can I put them? Because I don't want them on my fabric shelves, and I have other fabric shelves that they look good on, but then it's just a mess. I have to clean this whole place up. Oh, I'm running out of time. Okay, so I don't know. I didn't want to just sit here and babble. I thought I had other things to talk about, and I apologize. If I think of it, I'll take a picture of my table and show you how crazy it looks. So I also slacked a little bit on watching Friday, so I'm starting to catch up here and there. I was watching other things and just, I think I had to look up something on restoring that doll, and then I got on to, you get into a rabbit hole of doll restorations. I love watching them because especially the really, really old dolls, and they make them look brand new again. So what are my plans? I will give you some plans because I did sewing, I did life, and I'm all over the place. I am, ready to wear. Sorry. I would love to make a top like this, but I know I would have a hard time and I'm not going to stress myself. I would like to clean my sewing room, sew up some more gifts because they're fun to sew in bulk. I've made some pouches. I showed you those, and I want to make, there was something I really wanted to make for people. I just got a 50-pound bag of feed corn, which is controversial about using in a heat pad, but I want to make some heat pads because I have one that I use on my neck and it's getting old, and it's not one that you can take off the cover and wash it. So I want to make some, and I need to obviously, what got me on that was I was fixing up some of my draft blockers for my windows because we also use them to squish under the air conditioners to keep the outside air out, and they needed to be refreshed. So I've been working on those, and I want to make some neck warmers, heating pads for your neck pain because I also have a lot of that. And I have been going to physical therapy for that. It helps, but it doesn't fix it. Nothing fixes it. So we'll see. Hopefully I we'll get some project bags together, or just maybe I know I was planning a sewing tutorial, but I can't remember which one. I think I talked about that in my last video too. I'm not sure. So If this didn't bore the heck out of you and you want me to come back next time, let me know in the comments and let me know what you've been up to and if you had a nice summer / fall now that we're into winter. It's almost the new year. I hope you're having fun in your sewing room, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.